Welcome. You have reached Imperial Reviews, and today's review is Venom: The Last Dance. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Let's get into it. So, I'm a little late to the party on this movie. I've been kind of slacked off, going to end the year strong, so I'm picking up on my reviews on movies. So let's getting back in the swing of it. So let's go over the cast. You got Tom Hardy, Eddie Brock, Juno Temple plays as Dr. Teddy Payne. Uh, Reese Effens played on Martin Moon. Reese Effens, he's currently Hightower on House of the Dragon. Plus, he played on. I first seen him on that movie called Replacements back in the day as the soccer player that was the kicker. Then you have Peggy Lewis, Miss Chen. She's back. Chiwetel Ejiofor as Rex Strickland. Who else we have in here? Clark. Baku as Sadie Christmas. And that's pretty much it. You got Lana Ubach as Nova Moon. And then you got Andy Serkis as Null. So this was a decent film. Not too many complaints with the movie. It's supposed to be The Last Dance. It's pretty much really just the last contractual agreement with Tom Hardy. And if you've been following the other Venoms, you got the combination of Venom and Brock, their chemistry together and with the wise cracks and stuff like that. But by now they're truly bonded. So you got Venom, this symbiote. They're off in Mexico drunk. And of course Brock is being framed for the murder of Patrick Mulligan. And he's all over the international headlines. And it's forcing him to stay out of New York City. So he wants to clear his name. So he got some dirt on a judge. And he plans to make it back to New York City and clear his name by bribing a judge. So there's a creature by the xenophage that's tracking Eddie and Venom, and it can only track them when they fully form together, but they don't know they're being tracked at the moment. So then you got Rex Strickland. He's running he oversees the operation group with the Imperium, and it's underneath Area 51, so they're called Area 55. So they're trying to decommission Area 51. They're tired of the fans of Area 51 popping up, causing grief. So they decommission it, but Area 55 is underneath. And Area 55 is where they're hosting like the other symbiotes that's down there. And they also, you find out that Mulligan survived and with his encounter with Carnage. So what they've been trying to do is one of the symbiotes host onto him, and they weren't being successful. And then finally they got one that did bond with him, and that one became like Toxin. And they start to learn some things like the story of the main character named Null, and that character in another world, the symbiotes was fighting Null, and Null, he controls the Cinephage. Now the Cinephage is the alien, large dragon like alien creatures that you've seen on a plane on a trailer going after Venom, and that thing is kind of indestructible in a sense. That thing be tearing things up. However, so Null, the symbiotes defeated him, and they put him in like their version of a cage where he couldn't get loose because they, like it's like a web. And so what he's been doing is sending his Cinephage to kill Brock and Venom, because it's inside of them, it's a it's a thing in the set in Brock and Venom when they form. When Brock died in part one, they forged this thing in the back of his neck that Gnaw needs to free himself. So that's his mission the whole match. I mean, it's the whole match, the whole movie. You got the Cinephage trying to get uh, this thing out of Brock and Venom, and then you have Rex Strickland with his crew on a mission to get Brock, and because they want him for what he did for, but they know he didn't kill Mulligan, so but they want him because he has that symbiote Venom in him. So eventually, a bunch of adventures come about. The whole Brock trying to get to Vegas. I mean, trying to get to New York. In the process, he was on a plane that was going to be his way to New York, but they ended up getting off the plane because the Cinephage came after him. Then you had the Strickland and his soldiers pretty much going after Brock. So that became a distraction. Meanwhile, Brock ran into the family of the Moons, and the Moons, the dad pretty much emptied out his life savings. He believes in aliens. He wants to take his family to Area 51 before they just decommission it. So he seen Brock along the way. He ended up making Brock to Vegas. And, you know, they bonded. He bonded with the family. And once he bonded with the family, they got to Vegas, and they wanted to get in a certain casino, couldn't get in because of the way Brock was dressed. They ran into an a-hole, and Brock and Venom pretty much knocked him out, took his tuxedo. They got into the casino. Venom wanted to play the casino. He only had $20 that he got from the Father Moon, and he ended up seeing Mrs. Chen there, and she's got a wealth of, she been hitting big, and so she's there, happy to see Brock, and told Brock we're gonna go party, and she got a penthouse. And the Xenophage things that's tracking Brock and Venom can only track them once they bond. So they've been trying to just not bond fully. If they bond fully, it sends off a tracker. So what they pretty much did is they stayed unbonded as much as they possibly can. So Mrs. Chen wanted to dance. So Venom liked to dance. And so he danced with her, not caring whether he sent off the bond or not. And so the Xenophage came. While the Xenophage came, the crew of Strickland and his soldiers came and knocked out Brock, and then sucked up the Venom. When they did that, they woke up at Area 55. That's where Brock got to see Mulligan, seeing that he was still alive, and pretty much, but he was fully turned into the symbiote, and the symbiote pretty much told him, like, you gotta free the other symbiotes. He told him about Null, the reason why he's here, and pretty much told him you gotta free the other symbiotes so they can help you. And so that's what you see in the trailer, where you see Brock and you see all the other symbiotes behind him. So right at that moment, the Xenophage came in on the attack. And so, well, no, it didn't come on attack yet. Strickland didn't understand fully everything, so he seen Brock, and he pretty much, one of the moments the soldiers was after Brock had killed one of the soldiers. So pretty much Strickland wanted revenge. He shot Brock, and once he shot him, one of the scientists, Christmas, she was bonding with the symbiote, so you knew she was going to turn into one eventually. So she was bonding with them, and one of the times when she seen Venom, before she sent them down into like the tomb that they had Venom in, she had like this Christmas pin, and Venom jumped in a Christmas pin. You don't know that at the time, but when she comes down there and they shoot Brock, Venom jumps out and jumps into her first, and then jumps into Brock so to save him from the gunshot wound. And then that sets off the xenophage to track them and come into Area 55, busting through. But at that point, you seen Toxin that was inside of Mulligan try to defend the Brock, telling them get loose and get the release this other symbiotes, and the Xenophage ate Mulligan. Then now this is just a cool action scene because now all the symbiotes get released and they jumping into different people and they fighting, they trying to fight off the Xenophage and they kicking the Xenophage behind, but then it yelled out a call back home to needing help. So that brought Null released more to come and help that other one. So first it was just two of them. And then it's just cool fight scenes. And then the Moons, they show up to Area 51. They want to get a closer look. So they get past the gate and then they see Brock. And Brock did tell the little kid that what aliens was real. Then he had to confess and tell him that they were real. And he showed him Venom and pretty much said, we're going to save you. So end result, it came down to the Xenophages pretty much was overwhelming. They was killing off all his they was killing off all the symbiotes. And now the doctor, the main doctor, she was still alive, and she took like a purple symbiote, but she just was holding it in her pocket. And so her storyline was her brother was into the alien things, and she got struck by lightning, but because she had his hand, the lightning went through her and fried him. She survived. So she's been carrying that her whole life. And so while all this action is going on, Brock and Venom pretty much knew, like, in order for the thing to not be able to use the thing that's inside of both of them, one of them had to die. So Brock was wounded pretty bad. And so Venom had to jump inside him and fully form so it could heal him. And then once it healed him, it put like a shield over top of him. And then when Venom expanded, it allowed all the Xenophages to pretty much jump into Venom, and Venom became real big, and he consumed all the Xenophages at that point. And then he went underneath a tower of acid. It's supposed to be super acid to just fry him. He used the Rex Strickland to put his thumb up there to release the acid onto him. Meanwhile, the doctor, she helped the Moon family flee to their van, and she was still there. And her other like assistant, last name Christmas, she was on the ground, so she crushed the symbiote in her hand, the purple symbiote, and she turned into her version of a purple symbiote with hair, cool looking, and she was super fast like lightning, ran in, grabbed her assistant, then pulled her back out. Meanwhile, Brock was being protected while Venom was getting burned with the acid. And so pretty much Venom was like, goodbye for now. So Brock pretty much was like, he was out of it. When he woke up, he was talking whether thinking Venom was back inside him, Venom wasn't. And the guy from the military appeared, pretty much telling Brock, your name has been cleared. If you mention any of what took place to anyone, you'll go back and serve your time. You'll never see Venom again, and just go live your life. So Brock officially made it to New York City. However, of course, there's a post-credit scene. There's a post-credit scene of Null pretty much saying, I'm going to get out of here one way or another. And then the other part was the doctor, the female doctor, she pretty much was saying that cockroaches, and I keep saying the doctor, so Dr. Teddy Payne, and she pretty much was saying the whole time, like, cockroaches have survived through all types of disasters over time, and they'll continue to survive. So pretty much the Venom symbiote, where we seen, I think that was Venom 2, where they was at the hospital and you kept seeing Venom, the symbiote, jump into animal to animal and stuff like that. So the Venom symbiote into the cockroach. Jumped into the cockroach. It's fine. He gonna eventually find his way and make his way back to Eddie Brock. Now, of course, Tom Hardy doesn't have any more contract with for Venom, but I wouldn't want to see nobody else play Venom. So and of course they'll make up another deal, whatever. So we like the Venom character. Venom's always a decent movie. So there wasn't much to it. You just got to be a fan of the Venom series to really appreciate it and enjoy it. Other than that, there's a out of my 4-star rating system, I give this movie a 2 out of 4 stars. It was a good movie, you know. Nothing. It's not a must see. If you're a fan of the other Venom movies, you'll watch this one. Simple as that. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Till next time.